Hello everybody, my name's Johnny Mac. Um, I'm an ex-gangster, criminal, thief, you name it, I've done it. Way back in the 80's, 70's, 80's, I was basically really active. Today I lead a different life. I've learnt my lesson, paid my dues, lost a lot in my life, and made a lot of fuck ups, and that's the truth. Today I write, I'm an author. Um, I've got two books. I've got two books coming out at the moment. I've got one called Dun Peckham. That's out already. That's Dunpeck. And it can be obtained from Amazon. Put in Dun Peckham, and that's the first part of my autobiography, and that takes you through from the ages of about 10 to about 28. Um, it basically covers all my life in respect of my villainy. Yeah. But unfortunately, like all um, people like myself, drugs become an issue for me because they come on the scene. Prior to that, I was the upright, you know, stay fast type of criminal villain. Respect your elders, respect the old girls, never do your own, never turn anyone over like that. But as the years went on, especially the early 80's, the drugs come on the scene. That was the easy money, and I fell for it, and I started using. Um, and that was my worst mistake. The people I worked for, if they knew I was using, they would have put a bullet through my head. I always kept low key. I'm not one of these high profile villains or anything like that. I don't maintain to be. I haven't got an ego as big as that. But what I like to try and do to people is just to say, this is how it was. This is how it was for me. And I've done that in Dun Peckham by Olympia Publishers. Um, there's a small synopsis on there if you want to see it. You can go onto my Facebook page, which is Johnny Mac. Simple as that. You'll see I'll use a profile picture of my latest book, and that is called Landed on the Moon. And that's the second half of my autobiography, which takes you from the age of 28 up to present day. What you'll find there is you'll find change, and once change is there, you can see that it can be obtained. So if you want a good read, an honest read about villainy, everything else that went on in South London's underworld, then that's the one to buy, and that's the one I insist that you do, really. Otherwise, I'll come and get you. But the thing is it's true. It's not a bullshit stories or anything like that. It's like from the horse's mouth how it was. I knew some infamous people during that time. Names that I can't really talk about. You've read about them. I worked for them type of people. I worked all over mainly South London, done a little bit of work in East London. Worked with a regular little firm. We were a little crew together, six of us. Today, I can honestly say I'm the only one left alive. All the other five are gone. God rest in peace, really, to all of them because they were good lads. But again, drugs and thinking all went out the window, and everything went wrong for them. But I was wise enough to get away. I got away. I got off the gear cleanly. I didn't have to go through. There wasn't no detox centres or anything like that. But I got myself straight and went back to prize fighting along the south coast, and I moved away from London, which was really one of the best things that saved my life, really. So I'm here today to say to you, this is my story. What I don't like to do is give myself a big up. In my books I write about how it was, and I put me down as much as I put myself up as well. I mean, in Dun Peckham there's a lot of humour. You'll laugh at what I put in there because I had to think as I was then when I wrote that book, and I write it as I say it. They call it rough English, and that's my genre style. But I love it. I love writing. I've got another one coming out this year called Memoirs of a Hitman, and that's fiction. Some of you might think it ain't, but the truth is, it is. I think that's a good book. That's me. That's one of my first fiction books I wrote, and I'm on another one now called My El Dorado, which is another crime-based type of book, but realistic. It's not one of these crap ones. I don't proclaim to be an expert in my field, but I know enough about it to write that you will be able to believe it. That's the thing for me, really. It's just where I am. I like to think that you know that if you do actually have a look at these books, you got part one, part two, Gunpecker and Landed on the Moon. Now, Landed on the Moon comes out on the 28th of March 2011, and it can be obtained from Amazon, usual WH Smith, Reading Waterstones. Waterstones are doing a book signing. I've got a website coming up. It's not active yet. It's johnnymac.com, and it will be active in, I suppose, within the